Hello and welcome to This Week at the General Assembly. With 2 weeks left until the expiration of the latest continuing resolution, budget leaders in the House and Senate continued working this week and will remain in Raleigh over the long weekend to negotiate a compromise biennial budget. While the two chambers agreed to a spending target of $21.74 billion 2 weeks ago, they are still working out the details, including education and health and human services funding. On Monday, the Senate offered a plan that would continue last year's driver's education and teacher assistant funding, but would eliminate local flexibility to direct TA money to other needs like supplies and teachers. The House has traditionally supported this flexibility, but House leadership has not indicated if they will accept this plan. Late this week, budget leaders floated a proposal to increase dredging funds and build more terminal growing erosion control structures. Included in this proposal would be a set-aside from the gas tax for dredging and inlet maintenance that would raise about $11 million. This would align with NCACC General Government Goal 3 to support new or expanded state funding streams for infrastructure, including inlet management. In addition to the budget, the House and Senate are still working out differences on a finance package, Medicaid reform, and a bond proposal, all of which will likely extend the session beyond the conclusion of budget negotiations. On Wednesday, the House failed to concur with House Bill 373, as approved by the Senate earlier this session. In its current form, House Bill 373 provides 2 primary elections to be held in the spring of 2016. The presidential primary would take place on March 15th, and the other statewide primaries would take place in May. The House voted not to concur in order to consider whether to move all primaries to March 15th date. The State Board of Elections reports that additional estimated cost to counties of conducting a separate presidential primary is approximately $9.5 million. The North Carolina Court of Appeals ruled Tuesday that the way the state is funding the statewide misdemeanor confinement program violates the state constitution. Prior to the Justice Reinvestment Act of 2011, people convicted of misdemeanors with sentences of 91 to 180 days served their sentences in state prison. The legislation set up a program that allows counties with extra space to voluntarily house these prisoners and be reimbursed by the state for their expenses. The program was funded by an $18 court cost for all district court convictions and a $50 cost for all improper equipment convictions. The Richmond County Board of Education sued over the $50 surcharge, arguing that the North Carolina Constitution requires that the clear proceeds of all penalties and forfeitures and of all fines collected for any breach of the penal laws are to be used exclusively for maintaining free public schools. A Superior Court judge sided with the school board last year. The state appealed the decision, but a 3-judge panel of the Court of Appeals ruled unanimously that the surcharge is punitive in nature, so it is essentially a fine. It appears that both chambers of the General Assembly anticipated that the North Carolina Court of Appeals may uphold the lower court's decision of unconstitutionality in this case. Both the House and Senate appropriated $22.5 million to the statewide misdemeanor confinement fund in their budgets, stating that this fund was previously supported by court costs that were transferred directly to the fund. Last week, the House Judiciary 3 Committee deliberated a bill that would allow a board of county commissioners to adopt an ordinance authorizing the use of school bus safety cameras for the civil enforcement of General Statute 20-217. This provision requires motor vehicles to stop for a school bus that is displaying a mechanical stop arm while stopped in order to board or discharge students. Senate Bill 298, School Bus Camera Civil Penalties, provides that a county may enact an ordinance to impose civil penalties against a driver who passes a stopped school bus when the violation is not prosecuted criminally. Well, that's all we have for this week. Remember, for more information on any of the topics we've discussed here, please visit www.ncacc.org. There you can follow us on social media or subscribe to our legislative bulletin to stay up to date on issues that affect counties. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.